I know logically it's not the best business decision, but it also feels the best to do
Yeah.
the right thing. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit, about why you decide to not just throw things out and you decide to rehome things. You've been on my board of directors for my life for a while. I've known you for quite a bit, and
Yeah.
we're starting to do this Ecopreneur interview series. And I thought about you as far as I know you don't traditionally, your business doesn't fall in a recycling company, but I think you have a lot of practices that we can certainly talk about and anyone watching can benefit from. I'm trying to really start sharing the life of working for yourself and doing something that you love and being able to make
Mhm.
money at that and something that is good for you or good for your community. You've given me a lot of wisdom over the years. So if you
Yes.
want to dive in, we always start with talking about your history, how you came to found your company and what inspired you.
I started my company in 2005 when we moved here to Franklin. It wasn't like I knew a lot about my industry, which is professional organizing. It didn't really have a lot of awareness around the world, but there were a lot of people doing it way before even I started. I'm considered now sort of one of the OG in our industry just because I've been doing it for so long. There's a lot more awareness of our industry now. And unfortunately, I think some of it is really focused on the products. Get this, buy this, put this here,
Uh,
do a lot of that.
right.
And while we love products in our company, of course, because we want to make a space beautiful for a client, the core of professional organizing is helping people get rid of stuff and curate their spaces in a way that really works for them.
And
So
not
bringing
buy
in a bunch
from
of
the industry.
stuff
Yeah.
before you've done all of that, getting rid of the stuff and thinking through your spaces is a bit
Right.
antithetical to the actual core practice of professional organizing. So when I started, it was literally using cardboard boxes to put things in. Like there wasn't the product heavy world that we see today in professional organizing. So starting out with this industry, it was just me going out, doing a pantry and doing some drawers and a closet. And now I have 35 people in 3 states. And thinking about the growth of that, a lot of it really exploded probably 10 to 12 years ago when our industry started becoming a lot more well known. And 7 or 8 years ago, when the home edit really came burst onto the scene, they are amazing at marketing. They
Right.
just opened us up. Marie Kondo came into being.
Yeah, I remember
People
that.
really started to pay attention, like there's TV shows and all of those things. But then when Instagram became really as big as it is, like as it
2007.
grew, Instagram and now TikTok actually, those
Hmm.
those two things really showcased what our industry does. So that's made a big difference in the type of organizers that I brought on in my company, how we've approached our company and how we work, and then also the exposure and the attention that has been paid to our industry. So our industry has changed a lot over the last 20 years. I just find myself continually growing with it and learning.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's about the work that we're doing with our clients, but it's also the work that we're doing in the background, which is where you and I have connected a lot in the project management world, how to
Yeah.
manage a business so that it's sustainable and scalable. And then also how we think about what we're doing for all the different steps in our company. And you talked at the beginning about loving what you do. I joke that I'm not a great organizer. I can do it. But what I love
Right.
is running my company and building my team and
Sure.
seeing them grow and seeing what they can do and managing that. So that's what I'm loving about what I'm doing right now. And I suspect you might be feeling the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm certainly not the best at all the positions that I've helped with and have filled. I just really like to stand out of the way and hire the right people and see what we can do with motivating and teaching people how to optimize for sure. As far as like I mentioned in the beginning, you don't necessarily fall within a green industry, and certainly correct me if I'm wrong there,
We
but
kind of are in
okay.
many ways. There are actually subsets in our industry for eco organizers,
Uh,
holistic organizers. We have a lot of clients that really are repurpose, reuse, recycle, and we really do try to focus on that.
Big
But
time.
we also have a lot of
Notice.
clients that want the Instagram worthy pantry, and we are all about that as well.
Sure.
But the core of what we do is helping people effectively let go of things. And at least for myself, I can't speak for every organizer, but almost every organizer that I know, they really want to make sure that the things that we're letting go are going to a place where they can be useful. We try to not let anything leave that's going to go into a dumpster unless it is
Right.
actual trash. I'm a super active member on our local Buy Nothing group and Free Cycle because I don't want things to go into a dumpster. And so I have given away so many things on my own time through my own house. We utilize your company a lot for
Sure. Yeah.
electronics and all of
Definitely
that.
benefited from your bins, extra bins.
Yes,
Yeah.
all the bins that we have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, while my industry, and for those who aren't familiar with professional organizers, our focus is to help people live in their space in a way that really works for them by editing through the contents, helping them let go of things, helping them make decisions about what they want to keep or not keep, and then
Right.
setting up systems to store and manage and maintain the things that they are choosing to keep in a way that really works for them and their family. So the eco part of it can come into play with ethically and responsibly disposing of items. It can come into play with the products that we choose to use in a space, going with natural products versus lots of plastic. It can go in
Oh,
the
yeah.
sense of helping people live a more minimalist lifestyle or a more holistic lifestyle.
Yeah.
So there are definitely eco-friendly aspects that come into play with the work that we do.
Sure. Yeah, I think that one of the first things I noticed, and I do have more interactions with your husband, Bill, just because he's the one in
Mhm.
the truck that is doing a lot of the
Yeah,
droppings off. And, I get to
or one
see.
of our other guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but what really was interesting and it kind of inspired me is that we get a bunch of stuff that doesn't fall in like worth reselling because with reselling you've got to clean it, take pictures of it, list it, and then if it sells, then you've got to pack it and then ship it. So there's a lot of labor costs and expense costs. So we have about a $30 level limit where we won't really touch it, but we don't want to throw it out, right? And or we
Mhm.
don't want to scrap it just for like the minimum. I would rather take it to a thrift store or a Goodwill or some kind of charity than to get a couple pennies in steel prices for it, right? So
Mhm.
that's really not the best business decision as far as just bottom line and being most efficient. It's not most efficient to load a truck up, go to Goodwill, drop it off for
Right.
free, not get anything for it, and just be expense. But I was doing that because I got to thinking when Bill was dropping off the stuff, I was like, so I know logically it's not the best business decision, but it also feels the best to do
Yeah.
the right thing. And so go ahead and talk about that a little bit about why you decide to not just throw things out and you decide to rehome things.
Most organizers, as I said, we don't want to just throw things away.
Mm,
However, we really want to make sure that we're managing the client. So we do charge our clients for the disposal when we're taking them for donation. You don't really have
right.
that option because of your business model, but in ours, it's built into it. So there will be a small additional cost. I try to be upfront with people about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, to your point about taking things for donation, for the buy nothing that I choose to do personally, I'm not having to pay any of my employees, and it is a passion project for me. I don't charge the clients for that. So it ends up being things like those extra bins that I've been giving you. It's the hoses, the ladders, the tools,
Right.
random. I had two rabbit hutches that the shelter didn't
Sure.
want, like
Right.
stuff like that. People that aren't things that you're going to take to the thrift store, but you don't want to throw them away. I've
Sure.
had cases of cleaning products and bug sprays and random things that no thrift store is going to take those. So we
Right.
try to curate what we take to the thrift store for stuff that can actually be useful there. We also do take a lot of things to Turnip Green Creative
Mhm.
Reuse, to Smart Art, the animal shelters, the libraries. When we have a lot of books, we take them there. So we choose to, and sometimes if the client's like, I don't care what happens, but maybe they're on a bit of a budget, we may choose to do that at no charge to them because I
Right.
want to make sure it's going to the right place. For me, it is really important that the items that we're getting rid of go somewhere. And it's one of our core values is to be respectful of these items that we're taking so that they get another life, ideally. And that's, I think, part of how
Right.
we kind of fall into the world that you have in that recycling eco world is really thinking about what is that life cycle of these things.
Sure.
And another aspect that we think about is when we look for products that are going to work in a client's home, the things that we're looking at are they going to fit and function in the space as they need to? Are they sturdy and are they going to hold up and have that longevity so you're not having
Right.
to replace them because they're constantly breaking? And then you now have trash
Right.
that
Right.
that you're contributing to the world that doesn't need any more trash. And we have to balance the cost factor out of it in terms of you might spend a little bit more upfront, but we're bringing in a product that's going to really work for you and last. So I like to think about, what are we bringing into somebody's home? Is it multifunctional? Is it going to work? Is it going to make their lives easier? I don't want something that's just going to fall apart and you're going to have to throw it away. So
That's
again,
great.
that kind of plays into it. Does that make sense? Am I thought my
Oh,
in the
no, absolutely. I
right?
mean, and the fact that you've tied it into a kind of a core value, a brand asset of your business is wonderful. I mean, because things that your company believes in that you pass down to your employees, it's got to stand for something. It's got to mean something. It just can't
Yeah.
just be some bulletin board up on the wall. So that's great that you actually practice what you preach in your core values of your business. I would love to get a list or maybe your top 5 donation spots here in town so we can feature those links as well.
One of my favorite places to donate is Mother to Mother. Sorry, I had a brain, like a brain
Okay.
frozen. It's called Mother
I
to
haven't heard
Mother.
that one. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's amazing. We've actually done pro bono work there. If you ever see us post on the pro bonos, typically we're going to go do pro bonos at places we like. Mother to Mother is a fantastic organization. They take anything having to do with babies, kids, moms, car seats and cribs and toys.
Oh, okay.
They give all of these things to families in need. They're out in Nashville. I'll send you a link to their site.
Yeah,
They're
that would be
so
great.
great. You just absolutely love them.
Get a lot of requests
One
for
of my
car
favorites
seats.
is Shower the People.
Okay.
They basically have a mobile shower unit and then they have laundry. We actually did a big pro bono project for them. We gave them like 8 shelving units and bins and we completely
Nice.
organized their main place because it was just piles. And people in nonprofits, they're focused on serving the things that they serve. That's all their focus is. And they usually don't have the budget to stop and figure out what needs to happen from an organizing standpoint. This is why we do probably 8 to 10 pro bono projects a year. And sometimes it's one day, sometimes it's multiple days, just depends on what their needs are. But my team loves it because it's just, we can give back. But a group like that, like Shower the People, they're out there giving showers to the unhoused, they're washing all of their things.
Wow.
It's a really great organization. So we will donate things to them like towels and clothing, backpacks and stuff like that. Bridges Domestic Violence Shelter is one of our favorite
Yeah.
places that we donate to. You've got your general thrift stores. We used to donate to our thrift store in downtown Frankfurt.
Yeah,
So
sure.
sad when they closed.
I know. Such a
That
great.
was one of our main go-tos, so we
Yeah.
kind of miss them. It is important to me, as I said earlier, that we do look for places that can really use the things that we are donating. So that's a big part of what we think
Right.
about where we choose to donate. I think when you're a business owner, you have to balance the cost of doing business, what you're putting out
Right.
there versus profitability and all of that. But there are some things that you just make the choice to do.
Yeah.
You're
No.
not necessarily like, I have a
It doesn't
team
always
meeting
have to be about the
tomorrow.
numbers. So
It is
it
not.
could be
I have a
about the
team meeting
feeling.
tomorrow
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have 14 of my organizers are gonna be there. Plus I have a whole team in my company that all they do is the shopping and returns, all the donations and all of that.
Mhm.
They're gonna be there for the whole afternoon and I'm gonna buy lunch for everybody. Is it gonna be a very costly day?
Yeah.
100% is gonna
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But on the
I
other hand, we're
yeah.
gonna be able to talk through issues. We're gonna be together, all of us. And that's something that to
Yeah.
me, it's
There's
worth
a
every,
value to that, for sure.
yes.
It's an investment. One of my favorite days, we go to the coffee house on Bridge. We
Mhm,
rent
I
the
love that
big
place.
room out. We just talk, about what we want to do in the future, what's going right,
Yep.
what's going wrong. I pick up lunch. We're not really listing, we're not servicing clients, we're not
Mhm.
making money, but
Yeah.
it's some of the best times that we've had. I feel you on that for sure.
My people don't tend to leave. Like, I've had people with me for so long, and I want to build a really good community of people. I have a large network of people that I love to connect and pull together, and building a community that my team feels supported and that they feel heard is extremely important to me. And
Yeah,
that's what these
it's great.
meetings are about and all of the systems that we've put together. Because I know we've talked about project management a lot and how to manage everything in a way that people have all the information that they need, everything gets documented and all of that. And that's a big part of running a business as well, is having a
Yeah,
system
sure
that
is.
works for everybody.